Alright, so glasses died, so I'm gonna keep going. I might return those. I don't like how short that was. We'll see how long the video was. So anyway, there's a whole fiasco about finding the tires, and it was really a pain. It took half a day to track down tires from discount tires, and they're not matching, but they're the same brand. Pain, but I got Silver Rock to pay for it. That's about $1,100 because these weren't expensive ones, but beggars can't be choosers. I'm happy to have new tires. And they're okay. So add that to as a plus for the car. So now new tires. This is one of the cheapest ones I could find for the price range. The price had just dropped on Carvana because you have to favorite your vehicles and follow them throughout the quarter or month, and you'll see the price kind of drop every couple weeks if no one's looking at it or buying it. So I timed it. Usually for this car, you kind of get an idea what the floor is. So for this car, the floor was around 20 for the miles. For the between 20 to 40k miles, the floor is somewhere around 27,590. So when you see that number, you're kind of right at the spot where it's going to stop, or where somebody's going to jump in and snag it from you. So that's kind of where I got this one up. So 2759, excuse me, fresh tires. So here's where things get kind of wonky and why I kind of wanted to make the video. During the course of replacing the tires at Discount Tire, I was standing right there and working inside, looking into the bay. It was right there in front of me. I saw the technician pull this wheel off, and his hands were covered in grease, and he was staring at the inner wheel barrel. And I kind of went out and I said, "Wait, what's going on?" Because 7 days, you gotta get it looked at. Noticed a ton of grease on the inside of the wheel, and when you look inside, a ton of grease around the boot of the CV axle. So that was a concern. Took it to I had to call different Volvos in the Atlanta area and had to go to Dyer and Dyer Volvo. Service advisor, she was great. Technician, kind of good, but maybe it's not their fault, but there was something there that just felt wrong. But anyway, so they looked at it and they said, they couldn't figure it out. They did a video, sent it to me. They're like, there's an issue here. And it's not going to be covered by your bumper to bumper. Why not? So he brought me into the shop, looked at it with him, and he said, I don't see any damage to the boot. I don't see any signs of failure to the axle. As a matter of fact, they suspected, based on markings from the bolts, like there's telltale signs when you loosen a bolt and retighten a bolt from the tool, like you kind of strip a little bit of it, that the struts were replaced. And I said, holy crap, what? The struts were replaced, and maybe during the process the boot slipped off. They messed up, the boot slipped off, grease came out, they put it back on and shipped it because that grease is notoriously hard to clean. I thought that was crazy, so I'm like, there's no way they wouldn't clean that grease and they would just let it sit there and send it like that to Carvana, right? Because that's kind of what happened. Carvana purchased the car while it was on their lot, and the service was done before Carvana took ownership of it. So right now I'm in that phase. I'm past the 7 days. I committed to the car. I felt good about it. I'm like, let's just see what happens. I've driven it a bit since then. I've looked under it. I don't see any crazy accumulation. There were a couple dots that I wiped up, so I have to give it 14 days is when I wash the car, right? So in 14 days, when I kind of wash the ceramic and give it another, pop off topping of the coating, I'm going to go in there and see if I see any accumulation. By then, I would have driven maybe 300, 400 miles. It should be something if it's leaking. No tears to the boots, no sign of grease escaping, so no clue where it came from. But hoping that was just a one-time thing, and as exactly as the mechanic explained. So I called the shop that where it was serviced, which is Volvo of Cary, and they, I was asking them initially if they could just email me, download and email me the service records just so I know what was going on with the car. Because you can't trust Carfax, because obviously it said brake serviced. It didn't say struts replaced. It's only as accurate as the data that's being entered into it, I guess. So eventually the service advisor there got in and said, look, I can't send that to you. You can come pick it up. I'm in Atlanta. Not going to work. So I was like, just tell me what happened during the last service. And he said, yes, the customer came in complaining of groaning and creaking and popping in the struts. They investigated it, and sure enough, the top hats needed to be replaced along with the struts because of the grinding. So yeah, new struts, new wheels, brake service. That was kind of, at that point, I was like, you know what, I'm going to fight for this car. I'll see if it leaks. If it does leak, I'll take it to a different Volvo because I just haven't had good luck at Dyer. See if they would cover it. If not, I'll go back to Silver Lake. So with Carvana, you have 100 days overall from after you commit to the car, where Silver Lake is their third-party extended service provider, I guess you could say. And they're a pain in the ass to work with. Shops don't like them. It's a $100 deductible, but they will try. They'll help. We'll see how if I have to lean on it, but in some cases they will try to help you get stuff repaired if it's something like that. So we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Hopefully, if something does happen, Volvo steps up. I've called customer care Volvo because I found it odd that Dyer wouldn't communicate with Carry Volvo and just confirm that, yeah, we did some work. Oh, there was grease? Okay, our technician must not have cleaned it up or something might have happened. Just replace the axle and let's call it a day, right? So that's kind of concerning because that's what I thought would have happened. They were telling me, no, it's on me to get the dealership over there to admit poor workmanship and then cover the cost that this dealership wanted to charge me, Dyer, if it comes down to it, to get that replaced. And that's extremely convoluted, right? So I called customer care Volvo and asked, what's the point in having a franchises if the brand itself won't come in and referee in instances like these, right? It shouldn't be up to the customer to litigate between two dealerships. So more to come with that, but this is the car. As far as condition, there was some water spots. Is that scrape right down there? What's interesting is that the car came with Volvo OEM touch-up paint, which I put over there. I tried using it, I sucked, and then during the coating process, I took it off. So in 14 days, I'm going to touch it up again. There were some water spots in the back I think I hopefully took care of. And then there was some curbing on one of the wheels that was repaired. I'm not sure if by Carry or if by the owner. I think maybe the dealership did it. So they didn't do a great job. You can see where they kind of ground. Well, you can't see it here, but they did some grinding. Yeah, right there. You can see some bad paint right there. I mean, every Volvo, unfortunately, that I was looking at on the used market with any kind of miles on it had curved wheels, which is crazy. They're not thin wheels. They're not narrow sidewall, but I guess narrow enough, right? In this case, I actually upsized it. It's the 235s that it comes with to 245s because I like the extra bulge sidewall, and because the backs are 255s. So you can see just by looking at it, it has a better kind of profile to it. A little squishier though. And see that one? That's like right there. I would like to have put 265s on the back here. Couldn't find them though. So hopefully in the future I could do 245s up front in a brand that's and 265s in the back, 265 40s. And the same one over here, 245 45s up front, to keep the speedometer accurate and keep the ratios and just add a little more chunk width to the tire. So we'll see how that goes. But that's basically it. The only thing I did to it is, well, I debadged it for now. I'm waiting for my new badges to come in. I added the mud flaps from, and we'll see if I put those back on. I'm not sure how I feel about it. We'll see. But right now it's debadged. I might just put the black Volvo on and leave that alone. Who knows if I put the other stuff back on, which is right over here. The twin badge and the moose. I like those, but we'll see. I also like the clean look with just Volvo on it. So that's the story of how I got this car and what happened to my last car. I do like the way I'm going to focus on it with the camera. That groove right there, that body design. I mean, you don't really see it that much in the black. And so that's fantastic. You can see it on this. And right now in the light, you kind of see how it's gray in the front and blue in the back. Yeah, any questions about this car, hit me up. This car, to me, is very underrated. Every reviewer who's driven it, they like it. I mean, they poo-poo the range. The range is pretty bad. But this car is not meant to be a road warrior. I mean, you can make it a road warrior, but this is my daily driver. I drive it to work. I work from home right now at the moment, but before that, I drove it to work. I drive in the area, errands on the weekends, etc. That's my use case. I don't, and EVs are perfect for this use case. And The car that's parked here is my wife's Mazda, which is the gas car, and it's good. It's a great car, don't get me wrong. I just can't go back to ICE, and I'm trying to get her to go hybrid. Still with the Mazda family because I do like their brand. And she can't do the whole EV thing just yet. Maybe she can, we'll see. But she's saying no, we'll see. I'd rather go EV but it's nice to have at least one hybrid or plug-in hybrid. And then that car would be the road warrior if needed to go somewhere else, right? Although I can't understate how a better use case would be to leave both your cars here and rent a car. And yes, you're going to pay more out of pocket, pay for the insurance, but you know, we've seen the roads. The roads are crap. There's debris everywhere, rock chips, all the things that can happen to your vehicle in a road trip. Maybe it's worth $300, $400 to just, you know, let Enterprise deal with it on a rental, right? So Hertz or whoever, and just spare your car that abuse. I mean, you could get PPF in the front. You'll pay. Yeah, well, you could do PPF. Yeah, sure, okay. You could spend $2K, $3K to do a front end PPF, maybe a little bit more to do a whole car, somewhere around there, whatever the pricing is. Or you could DIY it, right? There's always that one person who's like, oh, I DIY'd it for $30. No, whatever. But you're going to PPF it. You're going to take it on the road. It's going to get wrecked. Maybe you'll clean up. Maybe you'll pierce through. Maybe you'll get bugs etched into it because you didn't clean it well enough at the end of it. There's pros and cons to PPF. And so for me, the cons outweigh the pros. Yes, it will help absorb some of the impact, but there'll still be maintenance involved. There's chances that it'll break. They'll look worse over time. And then you have to replace that for $3K when you can just spray the whole front end. If that's the case, just go 4 years, 4 years, respray it, 3 years, respray it, whatever you're comfortable paying. You could just do that and have a much cleaner finish than PPF. So I go with ceramic, not thinking that it's a magic bullet, but because I like the gloss. Before this, I waxed all the time. I love the gloss. I love the look. I love the hydrophobics of it, of a good ceramic. And when you're washing the car as much as I do, it's just really good to wash and clean. Essentially, we'll see how this one performs, but the last one that I had, which was the AliExpress underrated brand, Glenby, I mean, I was a big fan of that. There's videos on it. Essentially, I would just spray foam. You can see the foam getting rejected, and I would just blow dry it and blow dry it off. And then in the winters or when I didn't have time or I was feeling lazy, I would use a rinseless product, whether it's the RRW, the Ethos Hybrid, or over there in the corner, I had Absolute as well. I'm big on rinseless. I'm big on rinseless products. This is just one of my new favorites. Surfactant. We can go into that. So a surfactant one, hybrid one. I tried a polymer one, and then RW. I'm not sure where that one falls in the spectrum, but that's in there. I would use rinseless in between as well. On my car, my wife's car, because she parks outdoors a lot, so I have to do her car at least once a week with rinseless, and then once a month with the traditional wash. This car, I'm gonna try to be better about it so I don't mar it as much, because that was always an issue with the black car. Some fine spider webs from rinseless washing, I'm assuming, or just wash technique. But man, look at that angle. Yeah, I'm a fan of ceramic and just kind of what it brings to the table. Drying aids, I've covered that in other videos here. I'm down. My stock is down. I'm running out. I'm running out of stuff because I've given away some to family members. And those bottles, which are my favorite, are becoming hard to find now at Walmart. I'm not sure if the price went up because of tariffs, and I'm just not seeing them. So I'm guessing they were ordered from overseas and are being impacted. Yeah, I think that's it for the video. This is my stock. I have quite a bit. I mean, I kind of went into rinseless, got into rinseless hard. I mean, like rinseless. I got into detailing big time this year compared. I've always been into car washing. Just haven't been using quality products and doing it right. So, as you can see, I've been kind of stepping things up, making my own blends along the way because that's a phase for me. Giving those away. This is more of a sealant at this point. It's a nice little blend of a couple things. But it's been good. Tried it on the rental. Fantastic, man. I mean, Hertz rental when they basically spray it with water and give it to you, and that's their car wash. So when you're driving out of the Enterprise, you usually have flat water all over your rental, right? You have spots, water spots, the whole nine. Took it home, washed it, My wife was kind of laughing at that, but I washed the rental and I tested out my sprays on that rental. And for the whole time that I had it, which was about a week because it was the accident, it beat it the whole time. Outdoor parked, beat it. Outdoor got dirty, whatever, beat it. So solid. I like it. I like it a lot. Anyway, that's it. Any questions? Thanks for hanging out with me. This is my rant. Wanted to test things out. Wanted to cover, at least do an intro video for this car because I haven't done it yet. And any questions you have about the car, my products, my washing, my detailing journey, hit me up. Bye.